Hello, welcome to episode 90 of Your Ultimate Comeback. I'm your host, Brad, with my co-host, Raquel. How are you?
I'm so good.
I'm so good. Hey, we are very excited. We have a guest back with us, Stephanie Gambetta from The Loop Way. We're going to talk all about peptides today. Stephanie, welcome.
Woohoo! Thank you for having me
Excited to have
back.
you back.
Me too, and I get both of you this time.
I know.
Not that I didn't love having Brad, but
I was really hurt that I missed that one. And I'm noticing I need to put on a hat right now because you guys are both wearing hats.
you should put your loop hat on.
I should,
Yeah,
but my
yeah.
hair looks kind of cute right now.
You look cute right now. You look cute. Just keep it.
This is dressed up for me. You know that, right?
I like the bright colors.
It's true. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a special occasion.
What, the 90th episode?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm asking what the special occasion
Yeah,
was.
the 90th episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got
She's
dressed
got
up
a
for
hot date. It's Friday night.
Oh.
Yeah. My husband doesn't know that, but yeah.
It's coming.
Right. Anyway.
So I want to do a little deeper dive into peptides. We've kind of sprinkled about it.
Yep.
We talked a little bit about it the one time we got on. More and more questions have been coming in about peptides, so I kind of want to do a little deep dive on them if you're up for that.
Let's do it.
Perfect.
She may know a thing or two.
She definitely knows a thing or two.
I'm trying.
Or
I have
4
a
or
question
5.
before you jump in.
Okay.
At what point, has this only been a year for you that you've really been involved with this?
Loop is only 4 months old.
No, I know that.
Oh,
but I
but
mean
peptides.
you personally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how far you've come and how it's incredible when you think about it.
You know, I think what's interesting though, I've always been a person who's been like really interested in like the out of the box things. Like I went to Guadalajara and did stem cells because I had long-term COVID.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've always been somebody who's been super interested. So I'd heard a lot about peptides, but I didn't like know much about it. I knew a little, but not much. And then when I get into something good or bad, I kind of go all in.
Okay.
And so this I went all in, and like poor Gino. I mean, I really
So
I
it was
probably like owe
Gino.
him like 20 dinners.
So it was Gino that you really learned a lot
Yeah, and so
from.
Gino, like, he was on my podcast last week
Right.
or this
Yes.
week, and what was interesting about our friendship is that like. And we have a big age discrepancy. Like we don't like run in the same circles, and I'm really not that friendly. I know that sounds so bad, but like if someone at Moxie probably would say like I don't really talk. I mean, I go in, I work out, and I'm
there's nothing wrong
friendly,
with
but
that.
like I don't sit around and then go have coffee and then go
Right.
and sit in the chairs
Sure.
and have my thing. Like, I just like I kind of like to go new.
You weren't doing the compression booth?
No,
Okay.
even though it was part of my package, I never did. But Gino and I became friends, and I just always have felt like I loved the trajectory he was on. I don't know. I took interest in kind of what he was doing. So when I was traveling and I saw that he was doing peptides, I'm like, yes, this is the thing. And so when he came over to our friend's house, when I had some friends over to my house and he started talking about them, these women also knew a thing or two. So it was really nice that all of a sudden a lot of other questions were being asked.
Yes.
And then once I got on my BPC and TV 500 and the inflammation going away affected my mood and my brain so much that like I became obsessed. And then I would like literally walk my dog and listen to a podcast, and then I'd stop the podcast and voice note poor Gino. What do you think of this? What is this?
Yeah,
What,
I love it. I love it.
bless his heart.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I really got to, and he's like, go read a book or something.
I got a few references
funny.
for you.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
So
Yeah.
anyway, he put up with me.
Before we get too much farther into it, we start off to telling our listeners about you, about the Loop Way. Just give them a little background of what this is.
Sure. So my background in general is I've always kind of been an entrepreneur at heart. I've had a few businesses here and there. Always been in health and wellness. So I was an athlete in college, and then I got my master's in sports management and worked for sports agents, and kind of just been in that world and just taught many modalities and just ran marathons. And so I was always in health and wellness, and always liked to be proactive about my health. And so I moved to Newport Beach during COVID, and I was told by my coach not to work, basically focus on your kids. I was getting divorced and not work. And so for 2 years I didn't work. And you want to talk about about if you like to work. And like it was always a distraction for me. And like I tried to beep and I said bop.
That's okay. That's okay.
And I was ready for something new, and I was going to go back and do more health coaching because I was like, that's kind of what I wanted to do, but I wanted to focus on kind of your ultimate comeback in your way. Mine was chapters and help men or women go through from one chapter to the next. Because if I had someone help me through my divorce or my move or whatever it was. So that was what I was really focused on. And I had hired this coach, and I had created this whole beautiful branding and website, and just, I had a failure launch. I was like the person standing there being like, every excuse in the book. Oh, I live between two states, and I've got these kids, and finally my coach was like, it's okay if you don't want to do this.
Is your coach Mara, by the way?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Christine
Okay.
Hassler is my coach.
Oh, okay.
And she's awesome.
Okay, wait. How do I know that name? Do you see her? Okay.
No, she's kind of a famous
Okay, that's why I
coach.
know the name. Okay.
And she's really helped me.
Okay,
So
great.
long story, a little tad bit longer.
Yeah.
I went to a retreat last January, and it was a branding retreat. And with my sister, and I was like, I'm going to go to this retreat, and by the end of the retreat, I'm going to know if I'm going to do this business or not. And my coach reminded me, sometimes when you want the most clarity, it's when you're the least clear. So be very careful, like demanding this of yourself. Anyway, I learned very quickly that I started talking about peptides from the second I got into the car. And these are women from very high-powered, successful women from all over the U.S. who come to this retreat for like branding and wellness and stuff. And I talked about peptides the entire time. And finally, when someone looked at me and they're like, you need to coach on peptides.
Yeah.
You're clearly light up about this. And so we did this crazy breathwork class, and I will go into the woo-woo at another time, but I kind of came out of it being like, this is what I'm going to do. And my boyfriend and I started the Loop Way on the balcony of our hotel room that day.
That's excellent.
And that was basically like February 1st, and now we're August 1st. It went real quick.
Wow.
Yeah. And so what I learned was I needed to hire people much smarter than me who knew a lot more about peptides, and I wanted to have a business that educated people on peptides, because when I went through it, poor Gino, I was just confused and scared, and there was so much knowledge, but I was so excited. And I just felt, gosh, it would just be nice if you could go somewhere, pay somebody to really walk you through it, so I wasn't harassing somebody, and there was nothing out there. And so, you know, we went through the ringer, and thank God we learned AI really quickly and found that AI was a really big piece to our business, and that we could hire nurses and PAs who knew a ton about peptides, but they were not working in that capacity. They were educators. And so combining your goals and your blood work created a really solid picture for somebody on where they wanted to get started and why. You know, I think with anything, you got to know your why.
Yes.
And so I think through our process, you identify your why, and then you understand how a peptide is just a tool to help you kind of get to your goal. And so having that division really made me feel proud, because I felt like, gosh, I'm providing something that's not out there. And then now we have a coaching side, which is more of the 30-minute calls where it's like not deep dive into your blood work, but let's just kind of like we're talking about today. Let's talk about peptides. Let's answer your questions. You want to cycle off one, get into the next, and just someone that can hold your hand. And so if you want someone every step of the way, you have someone. And so that was basically it. And then I wanted to kind of keep my own brand and still talk about the pillars of health and wellness. And we're now going to create protein powders and creatine and all this other stuff. And so I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
The feedback and just the people really being receptive of our brand has been a huge success, and I'm really proud of it.
I love that. So there's a lot of talk about peptides. A lot of people are talking about them. And the first thing I want to address with you is there are so many options on the internet to buy peptides.
Yeah.
And price point is very different all over the internet.
Yep.
Some of them are going to cost like more expensive. Some are going to be dirt cheap. The thing I want people to understand right out the gate is, how do you know if you have a safe, good peptide? Because everyone says Are Peptide has a COA and this and that. And I was having a conversation with JP the other day on a website. I'm like, oh, this one's interesting. It's a lot cheaper. Here's the COAs. He's like, oh, you notice how they're not signed? I was like, what? He goes, yeah, they're not signed. That means they're not real.
Yep.
I was like, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So can you give the listeners some ideas on how to recognize when you are accessing a safe peptide?
Honestly, unless you're testing it yourself and you're going out and you're getting a home kit and you are testing it, it's trusting.
It's a little blind faith.
It's blind faith.
Yes.
And it's, I put my face on this brand for a reason, and the reason we started Loop is because we found a partner who manufactures some of the best and purest peptides out there. So I feel comfortable doing that. I think that's half of it. It's a little bit of a blind leap of faith. It's trusting. And because at the end of the day, you only know what you know. But unless you are physically doing it yourself, someone can slap on anything. It's no different than a supplement. It's like when people say you order it from Amazon and you're trusting the brand says what it is. You're just trusting it unless you're testing something.
Yeah.
So I think getting some education behind it, what to look for. You want to look for the COAs. You want to understand which is you're coming from. Yeah,
COA stands for?
It's showing where the testing is.
Is that certificate of authenticity?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Okay. And so it's basically showing where the batch came from.
Okay.
How it was tested, the date on it, and then each vial too will have numbers on it that kind of aligns to what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I would say that's almost like false. What is the right word? Like false confidence. If you just go and say like, oh, they had that, like Brad said, he doesn't really know what you're looking for. I mean, it's a documentation that's been scanned on a website.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you had a friend, right, that had got something.
Oh, this was a different. He
not from Loop, of course.
Yeah.
no, it wasn't a peptide though.
Oh, it wasn't.
No.
Oh.
He was buying something else that ended up being laced heavily with heavy metals over time. And he got really
That's awesome.
sick.
Yeah.
But it was not a peptide; it was something else. But same scenario.
Yeah. Just
Thought it was
thinking.
safe. Found a better deal on it than what you could find in the U.S. Started using it and ended up with a crazy
and I
heavy
think
metal
what's
toxicity.
interesting
from it.
about price, if it's too low, you should be concerned.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, okay, well, what's the differentiation from the same supplement, one being $150 a vial and one being $50 a vial?
That's a rut row.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I would say, okay, if I saw that, then I'd say, let's go look at the average. So
Yeah.
I'd go and look for more, and you're probably going to find either something in the middle, or you'll probably say it's more of a $150 vial.
Yeah.
So if it's $50, I'm not saying it's coming from China, and I'm not saying that it's air or whatnot, but a lot of people will come to me and say, well, that's so interesting. I've been on this before and it didn't work. Well, because you weren't taking that peptide.
Yeah.
If it's not working, chances are it's not what they're saying it is, or you could be a small percentage where a certain peptide doesn't work for you. But I would say that do research too, because TikTok, Reddit, people are talking about it. So like
So much.
you can also find a lot of information on it. And then what's crazy is like peptide places are closing down left and right. Like,
Oh, really?
and you'll see influencers backing a certain peptide, and then they're not anymore because it just shut down overnight.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So that I think that's something to look forward to. But talk to your friends. I mean, really talk to people who you know, who know a lot about peptides or who are on them or using them. I think that's your best resource to begin with. And then if you want to do your own testing, I mean, you can get a group together and order a ton of peptides and you can have them tested yourself if you wanted to. I don't think you need to, especially when you find a company like Loop.
Yes.
And you're really seeing that like we're putting ourselves behind the brand, and I feel really comfortable giving it to really anyone. I mean, people are asking me, their kids are injured right now, they're teenagers.
Yeah.
And they're doing BBC, and I have no problem saying like, no, this is
This is okay.
And I have children. Like I would never say like, hey, I would not say that with all the peptides that a child should do it. But BBC, if you're injured, I have no problem suggesting that.
Oh yeah, I have children that are both athletes, and I know how powerful BPC is.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, if one of them got hurt, would I use it? I every doctor I talked with that I know that are very behind peptides and very have a good expertise around peptides, we're all like, yes, I would give it to my kids. So
literally, my friend brought his son over this morning, and he laid down and we injected it into his hamstring. That's awesome. And then I'm like, take this bottle and go to Loop and buy some.
Yeah.
But I mean, they work.
Yeah, 100% they do. Let's talk a little bit about GLPs. Like everyone knows about GLPs.
Yeah.
There's now 3 different GLPs, right? 1, 2, and 3. GLP-1, GLP-2, GLP-3.
And Trevor just told me yesterday GLP-4 is basically.
Just heard about that on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that one's. And they're getting better as they go, right?
It's like the best analogy I had is like the iPhone, right?
That makes
The
so much
original
sense.
iPhone works.
Yeah.
But the next one's better.
Yeah.
And the next one's better.
Right.
And the next one's better.
Yeah.
What I tell people that don't just jump to what you think is the best. You know, I say, you know, like right now, like our Loop Lean, which has 2 agonists, and it's a GLP and GIP. It's like stick to what work if it's working for you, because you're always going to be able to upgrade, right? So
Yeah.
there's no don't need to rush to the top. Just stick to something. If it's working for you at a low dose, just stay where you are. There's no need to upgrade. Just life's a long time.
Yeah.
Nothing's going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your recommendation? I mean, that's probably the biggest question I get asked is, what do I think about these GLPs? How do you like to recommend people take GLPs?
Low and slow.
Low and slow. I love it.
Low
Is
and
that
slow.
no matter what?
No matter what.
Even if someone has
yes.
100 pounds to lose?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because this is how I feel about it, is your body's got to get used to something, right? So why would you just put someone on something so high where they are going to have a side effect?
Yeah.
Even if they start at a low, their body's going to be shocked. Like,
Yes.
what is this? Yeah. There's no need. I think start low and then you're going to slowly titrate up. And then if you're seeing success, then you stay there. Now, if you have a lot of weight to lose, you are going to have to go up. But there's other peptides. There's other
In conjunction with,
that
you're
you
saying?
that you can take eventually if you stall out to say, hey, we can have to use something else. Let's just see. We don't always have to go higher and higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
People have a lot of success. And what your people are finding too is like, by the time you, let's say, get to a low dose, hopefully they're implementing a few other things in
Lifestyle
their life because they're
changes.
feeling better. Let's say there's 100 pounds, they've lost 10. They're like, oh, now I can get off the couch.
Yeah.
Now I can go for a walk. You'd be surprised how quickly that 10 is 20 without even moving the needle.
Yeah.
And so that's what I hope for in our coaching is saying like, the reason you need to do all the other things is you don't want to have to keep titrating up.
Yeah. Can you give us a couple examples of some of the lifestyle things you're talking about that you've seen be effective with GLPs?
Yeah. So definitely is you want to pick up something heavy. And I, and I say to the girls, and I love yoga and I love Pilates and there's a place for it all, but you really need to fatigue your muscle. I mean, you really need to build muscle because it is going to use whatever it can for energy if you're not eating enough.
Right.
So that's the second thing. If you're eating enough, you are going to have no problem keeping your muscle on. So focus on protein. The hardest part you have to eat when you're not hungry. And I think that's the biggest piece I tell people is like, it's so not intuitive.
Yes.
I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
But then you look back and you're going, well, what have I eaten today? I've only eaten 500 calories. Or someone will say, I have no energy on it. Of course you don't. Like you have no energy because you have no food.
Right.
And so I think the piece of that is really walking them through it and then also saying like, it's real food. I get a bunch of like, my stomach is gassy or I'm burping. Well, what have you eaten? Well, I had a protein bar, and then I had protein powder, and you said to eat more protein. I said, well, real protein.
Actual chewing
So I
food.
think that's the fun part of having a coach is there's somebody actually to kind of walk you through it or saying, hey, you have to understand is if you already have a stomach issue or you already have bad gut microbiome, this isn't going to help the situation because now you have more GLP in your stomach, which means the food is going to sit there longer. And so if you are having an issue, it's going to exacerbate the issue. So then we talk about a digestive enzyme. We talk about probiotic. We talk about injecting in your glute. We talked about injecting in the evening. The goal is to have you on a really low dose that you feel really almost nothing, except you might be like, oh yeah, the food noise is kind of gone. Like I don't want that chocolate, but it should be light. Like nothing should taste like cardboard. Nothing. You're at a place there where like you're teetering on life is probably not that fun.
No desire to eat.
Right.
Well, I mean, could you imagine? I mean, I don't know. Personally, like you're in Europe or you're on a trip or you're at a beautiful dinner with your partner and you look at your food and you don't want to eat it.
Yeah.
Like I've been there when you're either sick and you're like, this is a bummer.
Yeah.
So
another common question I get about GLPs is people have been on them for a while and they're at a point where they've lost the weight. Now they're afraid to get off of them.
Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations on helping people get off of them if they want to come off of them?
Yes. So what we do is you slowly titrate down and we will support them with another peptide usually. So that's the nice thing is all of a sudden that kind of takes the nervousness down because like, oh, we're working on something else that could be stimulating something else. And so your mind shift is focusing on a different goal, but it's also supporting your body. So it's either supporting your body, your brain. We might put you in a peptide that's going to burn fat. So you're like, yay, I'm burning a lot of fat right now. And there's going to be a bunch of orals that are going to come out that's going to help with a lot of the fat burning.
Oh, nice.
Which is going to be really nice. Yeah. So I think pairing it together. So you're saying, okay, I'm working on something else that's still going to support my body as I'm coming off of it. And then recognizing that you are going to get more hungry and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and that's okay.
Yeah. Well, my understanding is if you get high enough on tirzepatide and your caloric intake is so low, your metabolism starts to slow, right?
Yes.
And it actually needs food to help the metabolism recover to get back on. So it's actually not a bad thing, right?
It's not a bad thing. I mean, and it's almost like reverse dieting, kind of when you guys talk about shows and stuff. I just did this DEXA scan and I was talking to a lady about it and she's like, oh my gosh, we have so many people on GLPs that come in and they're shocked with how little muscle they have because they haven't been paying attention and their metabolism's in the tank. So that's what I remind people is that like, yeah, you might want to lose weight, but not at the cost of your metabolism because then you're really in trouble. How about we keep your metabolism going and like you only want to lose half a pound a week, maybe a pound max a week. So like that's 4 pounds a month. Like that's doable and then you're going to keep your metabolism and then you're not going to be scared. There should be no scaredness to the process.
So give us an example of, okay, you're titrating down or off of, let's say, retatrutide. What would you pair with that? What would you transition to?
Explain what retatrutide is. It the GLP-3?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Sorry.
It's the iPhone 25.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I think personally it's a great one to stay on a microdose of.
Okay. But when you say stay on indefinitely?
I think you can stay on it indefinitely.
Really?
Trevor was the first person to say, if you feel good on it.
3 times a week even?
but you can take your 3 times to barely anything,
Oh, I
or
see
you
what
can
you're
say
saying.
or you can do it once a week.
Oh,
There's
I see.
no
Yeah.
everyone's coming of these dosages. There's no rocket
Right,
science
right.
behind you have to do it. Whatever works. Some people when they try to, I do it once a month. You know, so some
Yes.
people decide, but you can also say I'm going to go off of it. I would pair it with something else. So let's say you want to, you're lifting weights. You're now into lifting weights. We'd say, let's do a CJC Epimorelin, or let's do a Tesamorelin, or let's do AOD, and do you have some fat pockets that you're, that you're kind of worried about, or let's go on let's go on MOTC. Let's do 1 round of that and
Your favorite.
spike your metabolism, and let's, it's like taking your car into the shop. Yeah. And I think someone will get so excited because there's another thing you're working on.
Yeah.
I think a little bit of the mindset is that like, oh my gosh, I now don't have this to optimize myself. Now what? Instead of being like, well, good, this is done its trick. I don't really want to lose any more weight or any more fat. Let's work on something else.
Yes.
So it's more of a mindset thing than I think anything else.
Yeah.
I had chatted with Gino about that actual question, and he had said AOD was one he mentioned.
Yeah, AOD has been real. People have loved it.
Have they?
I've got a good client on it right now she's been on microdose, and she literally stayed on a microdose. She's lost 15 pounds in 4 months. She doesn't want to lose any more weight,
Right.
and so she's titrated down to almost nothing. But she started AOD 2 months ago, and she's like, I have abs for the first time. But she's also in the gym,
Sure.
Yeah.
and she's working out.
Right.
But she's found it's been really, really helpful.
Yeah. Can you explain what AOD 9604 is?
What
That's
it
what we're
does?
talking about. Just what it is. In case the listener has no idea what
what's
it is.
interesting about peptides is the way the chain's put together, it hits a certain receptor in the body. And what's nice about it, we have them in our bodies anyway. So all it's saying is, wake up. So this one, which is really hard to believe, is but we all have stubborn fat, right? So like you might get down to a goal weight and say, well, I still have either some fat here I don't love or on my waist. It actually targets that fat and burns that fat for energy. Yeah. And so it's really goes and finds a pocket of brown fat normally. And that's where it says, hey, we're going to go to work and use this as energy.
Can you do those simultaneously?
Yeah.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. But I think what you've suggested before about starting slow and not do 20 different peptides at once so you know what's working.
Yeah. It's like, I'm in this issue with my supplements right now because I had to go on a bunch of supplements because I was deficient in something from an infection. But they put me on like 6. And they come in the mail, and now I'm like, I don't even know what was really working, right? At the end of the day.
Right.
It's no different. I think what I love about the peptide, when I say like, start with 1 for 3 or 4 weeks, and then you're like, great, I feel good. There's no side effects. Let's bring in the next one. I'm not saying you have to wait 6 months. Sometimes if you feel good after 2 weeks and this is great, and you've done it 5 days a week, let's bring on something else. So there's, as long as you know, and you're not on peptides that are hitting the same receptors.
Right.
Because there's no point in that. You're flushing it down the toilet. It's not working. I also think it's too much. And I think, people also will get on the, Tesamorelin, which is amazing for fat loss in your midsection.
Yeah.
Helps you put on muscle.
That one didn't work for me so well.
Yeah.
Let me
you're not
let
the
me
only
rephrase.
person.
That one, compared to what I'm on now.
Yeah.
I'm so much happier on what I'm on now. Yeah.
And you know what's interesting is I have a friend who's probably in her mid-50s, and she went on it, and it was obvious she couldn't sleep. She was putting on weight.
Yeah.
And that's
just
why,
water weight, probably.
Right.
Though,
and
right?
that's why I say it and I'm not hesitant to say this. It's like anything. Your bodies are different.
Right.
What might work for you is not going to work for somebody else. And that's why going low and slow and having someone to talk to and really understanding like, okay, after 1 month, if this isn't working for me, let's go off of it.
Right.
Or this is working amazing. I mean, I have someone who is so sad to be off of Tesamorelin. She's like, when can I go on CJC?
Okay. Yeah.
She feels, and I'm like, I would love for you to give yourself 3 months of a break of just off of a growth hormone.
Right.
But it's each their own. You can only coach people so much.
Yeah. But it really is a fascinating, this was my first foray.
Yeah.
Using your peptides. And, I don't know why that I thought that was the first one I should, it was my coaching call for sure that was suggested. But now that I'm doing NAD, GHK, which by the way, I was super afraid of both.
You look great, by the way.
Well, thank you. Am I glowing?
Yes.
Okay, good. I was super afraid of both because those were the air quote spicy ones.
Yeah.
They don't bother me at all. Tesamorelin was spicier to me.
Isn't it interesting?
Totally weird.
I know. I talked to people and I'm like, oh gosh, just because the GHK rocked me. The first time I did it in my stomach. I mean, poor Gino. That was, I'm like, I've got a bee sting. I was like, I can't do this. It kept me up all night.
Right.
And then so now I really warn people and they're like, that was nothing, Stephanie. So everyone's different.
Yeah. Well, I do Can you say I do it in my butt? I mean, that sounds really weird to say, but it's
Glutes.
true. Thank you. We do it in the glute.
You inject in your glute.
Yes, it's much easier. And it's called pinning. Did you know that? No. Yeah. You get your husband to pin you.
I don't have a husband, so
Well, I'm glad.
I gotta pin
That
myself.
sounds very sexual.
No. But this was when I was listening to some silly little, you were talking about the TikTok forums, all these people are talking about it, and I'll get sucked in and listening to them. Oh, get your partner to pin you. I'm like, pin you? Oh, okay. It injects you.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. So.
Sounds less intimidating.
Yeah.
JP, can you please pin me?
Yeah. and also began the retatrutide microdose and was a little nervous about that too. But that has been, because I thought, oh God, I don't want to not eat.
Yeah.
I don't want to not be hungry. It's been minimal. It's been more like I'll have my plate of food that I normally would eat and I won't want to finish it.
Yeah, you're satisfied.
That's the only thing. Which in some ways I think, oh shoot, did I eat enough of the protein? Still that damn full-time job of eating all the protein. I don't know. But you're laughing at me again, Brad. I'm the little sister he never had. You know this, right?
Little sister.
Right?
The neurotic older sister.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take it. I don't know.
But to make you feel better, when we were just traveling for about like 3 weeks, and my boyfriend is just neurotic about his protein. I'm losing weight.
He is.
I'm losing weight. I haven't had my
guys hate losing weight. Women
and
like
I'm just laughing because I'm like, I honestly have not thought about my protein this entire trip. I mean,
good for you.
I thought about the protein. I mean, I got fish, but there wasn't one day when I go, I knew I wasn't making my protein, but you're on vacation.
Yeah.
Come back and focus on your protein, And my point is, we all have our things.
Sure,
we all have our little neuroses.
So he's more neurotic than you. He's the neurotic one of the duo.
We're only about protein.
Oh, okay.
I'm probably more neurotic just
about
in
other
like
stuff.
general.
Okay.
But I think he's,
Brad.
well, he was telling the other day, he goes, Stephanie, I'm the Wolf of Wall Street, and you save the whales. We literally got into our first real, we don't fight, we bicker. We got into our first real fight about our optimizer program.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he's like, this is the problem. You want to save the whales, and I'm the Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Guess who won?
Yeah. I love it.
I'm very proud.
Yeah.
But I mean, to my point is, I think we all have our stuff.
Sure.
And hopefully, I think with the GLPs, it quiets the stuff, the noise, and just it lets you focus on some other things. Yeah. And food is not a preoccupation.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
For the most part.
So let's do this because you guys just threw out a bunch of different peptides without saying anything about what they were.
Sorry.
What are the different categories and some examples in each category of the peptides that are out there? For example, I just heard NAD, I heard GKU, Tesamorelin, CJC 12, whatever it is, 1295 or whatever.
Okay, well, let's talk about NAD and let's say MOTC.
Okay.
Right? So now, to get really into it, I mean, NAD is a coenzyme, and the only difference is the amino acid chains. And so you'll hear different things, and they'll say, oh, it's not a peptide because the amino acid chain is a different length. So it could be a bioregulator because it has a shorter amino acid chain. At the end of the day, they're all kind of working on different receptors in your body. So the wonderful thing about MOTC and NAD is it really helps your mitochondria. And that's why you have the energy, and that's why your body is really restoring itself, and it's just giving your body a chance to kind of regroup, recycle, reboot. I mean, I think that's a good way to say it.
My sleep is insane on it.
And everyone is saying the sleep. And I think for women, and I talk about this a lot, especially with NAD, Brad and I talk about this between MOTC and NAD.
He likes MOTC.
Most men go NAD.
Isn't that funny?
I kind of. Yeah. And women are like, holy fuck. Sorry, Jody. and really, I don't have one really... you're really an outlier if you come and say, I don't really feel this. It's mind-blowing. And they're like, I can't imagine not being on this. And I think we're just so used to not feeling well.
I don't notice the energy as much. I mean, yes, steady energy. I don't feel like I need to go take a nap or anything. But the sleep thing is what I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And you hear that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Did you feel like that on MOTC? You said you feel the way that women feel on NAD generally.
Well, not from a sleep standpoint.
Oh, okay. Because you don't sleep.
I remember one day, in the weight room class, you ladies were all talking about
oh, we talk about now.
This is like cocaine. This is incredible. And I'm like, I never felt that. Like I don't know a difference
I don't feel that.
whether I take it or don't take it. But then I started MOTC, and the energy response I got from that was like, whoa,
Yeah.
okay, this is what they're talking about.
And I love to talk about MOTC because I like that it's short.
Yeah.
You know, I like that
It's
you're
just
taking it 20 to
1
30
month, right?
days,
Yeah.
1 month. And Trevor described it the best. It's like taking your car into the shop 2 to 3 times a year.
So you would do that in lieu of NAD, correct? Because they're similar.
Oh, you can do them
You can
together.
do it at the
you
same
could.
time.
Yeah, I
but
do.
I just financially sometimes I tell
Yes.
people because they're
Yeah.
both pretty expensive.
Yeah.
I'll just say just take a break if it's a good time. Take a break of NAD and do this. Or if someone's coming off of a peptide and they're excited about something else, I tend to say do MOTC because it's like quick and dirty. You know, it's not like a 3-month commitment, and you really feel great on it. So it's fun to do too, like seasonally. Like I'm coming off the holidays, or I'm coming off summer, or I want energy for the holidays, or kind of figure
But
out
to be clear, I don't feel jittery, or you said like cocaine that they were saying no.
I
I think,
honestly have
I
never
think
done
they're saying
cocaine.
energy.
Just like
Okay,
great
got it.
energy
Okay,
response.
got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
I'm not jittery on it. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm fully alert. I'm fully
Okay,
aware.
got it.
I get to my son's football practice at night, and I'm like excited
put your
to be
cleats
there.
on.
Put my cleats on. I run around.
Yeah.
I have great energy throughout the whole day.
What do you hear women say about MOTC comparatively?
I haven't had a ton of women do MOTC,
Okay.
to be honest. I've done it twice. I love it.
You do.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I did it right after I got sick, and I wish you could do it more than 2 or 3
Okay.
times
So you
a
like
year.
it better than NAD, actually?
No, actually, I wouldn't say. I think NAD. You know, I'm actually tapering down a little bit on my. I started to get pretty vascular, which I didn't like that look. Like I like a little bit more feminine. And I was talking to Trevor, and I'm like, what? It kind of came on all of a sudden, and I don't think it had much to do with my body fat. I think it was all of a sudden like my veins were just pumping way more blood through. And he's like, it's your NAD. So he's like, why don't you take your NAD instead of 5 days a week, bring it down to 2. Even if you upped it on those 2 days, just don't do it so consistently. But I noticed I was off my NAD on my trip, and it started to subside. And so, yeah, it's interesting how to play with
Hey,
it.
I just ramped up to 7 days. Is that bad then?
No.
Okay.
But everything's also, everybody's different. It's a preference, right? Like I'm just like, I don't want to have tons of veins on my body. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
But some people probably would like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So everyone's different. And you have to, also, I've been doing it for a long time. Longer than you've been doing it. So.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So NAD, MOTC, that would
Energy,
be a category of like mitochondrial
mitochondrial.
peptides.
Yeah.
What are some other categories of peptides? Or the more common ones that are out there?
Okay, so why don't we talk about fat burning?
Perfect.
And some can kind of go to 2 categories. So we have AOD, which we just talked about. Then we have some orals. You know, we have Sloop that's come out, and Trevor's really bullish on Sloop. He loves it, and it's a pill, which I like. So kind of in the bioregulator category. He calls it like exercise in a bottle, where you're going to get that metabolic boost. Some people say they get anxiety. I had anxiety when I first tried it. I've not done it consistently, but I've got people on it who love it. I think it's great if you're on vacation and you're not going to work out a lot. Awesome, you know? But it's really, he said it works great with a GLP, and it just kind of gets your system really, really revved up and going and burns fat. So we're going to get more of those. So in the next month, we'll have a lot more that focus on fat burning and that it's an oral. So then you'll have, Tesamorelin, and that goes into the growth hormone category, but also goes, into the fat burning category where it really targets your visceral fat around your stomach and your midsection. Some women, we said, love it. Some it doesn't work with. Men love it. Yeah. What else in the fat?
CJC, right? Or, no?
CJC, that's growth hormone.
Oh, okay, just by itself?
It will, but it's not, I wouldn't put that in that category.
Okay, got it.
I think that's pretty much, and then obviously retatrutide has a fat burning, our lupulin burn has a fat burning glucagon receptor. So some of them cross over.
So those are kind of the 3 main categories: the mitochondria,
beauty.
Oh,
No, there's
healing.
beauty and there's healing and there's brain.
Yeah. Let's talk about the healing one a little bit.
So healing category of BPC 157, which is great. We have it orally. If you're injured, you definitely want to inject it, but orally is great for your gut for the most part, and then it also will help aches and pains and whatnot. It's a great peptide to start with. Almost everyone I say, just start with BPC if you're nervous.
Yeah.
And if you want to start orally, start orally. GHK actually is also, even though it's for beauty, it's also good for recovery. TB500 is great to pair with BPC. So if you have an injury, you want to inject both of those.
They call that Wolverine, right?
The Wolverine. What else do we have for recovery? I think those are pretty much the category that we would put recovery in. Yeah.
Anything with the brain category?
CMAX is
CMAX.
great that we have for the brain recovery. what was that? Trevor was talking about also stuff, Alzheimer's and whatnot. Some of the bioregulators that were going to come out that are orally are really kind of good for that. They were saying the GLPs in a microdose is great for the brain from inflammation.
Do you remember when
brain.
Dr. John was on with us and he said that? How long ago was that?
That was early on.
Isn't that crazy? He was
over a
saying
year
the
ago.
microdose of the GLP is great for mental
When you
cognition.
he's
think
always
of
agreed
like
with that.
just regulating your insulin levels, you know, and just not all the sugar just getting deposited and just the clarity that you have and just that from that standpoint.
Well, because they call it type 3 diabetes, like inflammation of the brain from blood sugar dysregulation.
And then Teslofensine is great is good for the brain.
Yeah.
I mean, like I took it this morning, but it's like Trevor takes it every day. When I was taking it every day, I was up at 4:30 or 5, and you're ready to go.
Wow.
Teslofensine is a little too much for me.
Yeah.
Like almost makes me edgy.
Yeah, I take if I take it, I take a half.
That's a good. I'm gonna try that.
Well, actually, the dosage is a half, and I was like, Trevor, why do they have these big pills? The first time I took it, I took one, and I was like, I'm like, oh my god, what is this?
So have you tried everything?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't tried AOD. I haven't tried a lot of the fat burning ones. I haven't tried Tesamorelin. But the same thing, like I don't want to try something I don't need.
True.
And so I have enough people that have gone through it that I can talk to, or where someone's on, I'm like, hey, can you let me know? Or like people are on Sloop and they really like it, like kind of give me some feedback on it. But I don't want to take anything that my body, I don't need to be the guinea pig.
That's
but
smart.
I've tried a lot, and there's a lot that I do try before we bring in. And we're bringing in a lot that are coming that even like everyone wants the tan one, Metenolone. And
That's so wild
I
to me.
kind of was hesitant on it. And then I was like, well, everyone uses like, you know, the fake tan stuff. And so I was like, let's bring it in.
Yeah.
So
Does it look natural?
yeah, but you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
You don't
look
wanna be
orange.
orange.
Another thing that I've read about, and the reason I was hesitant is that like, if you do have sunspots that you're worried about, it could enhance the sunspots. And so
don't
it's
want
just,
that.
you gotta be someone who really wants to be tan.
Okay.
But yeah.
Brad's going to get on that
Can I help
one.
my farmers?
Yeah, we're bringing in some cream from GHK Cream, which will be great.
Oh,
so
I'm so I can't wait for that because I still have like some scar marks from my
shingles.
shingles. Thank you. It will not go away. It's been almost
Really?
4 months now, but I was reading that the GHK lotion may help that.
Yeah, you can also take it and put it, like, extract it, and then put it in a cream and rub it around. And put it on
Really?
you.
You mean the injection of
Yeah.
it? Put it in lotion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've kind of been doing a lot of research on that because it's just weird how they will not go away.
Yeah. It'll actually probably really help with that.
Yeah. That's awesome to hear. Question for you from one of my clients.
Yeah.
Gentleman I train had a big surgery.
Okay.
Like quadruple bypass surgery.
Wow.
Has done a lot of like looking into peptides and finding a lot of good information on peptides and the benefits with the whole cardiovascular system. Any recommendations on a situation like that? Obviously, like
Consult the doctor first.
that's his problem is that none of them will give him any information on it because they don't know much about it.
Right. Well, I think
I told him to get his blood work done, submit it,
Yes.
talk with one of the educators. He's in that process of doing
which is
it.
perfect. Well, I think what's just interesting is we're seeing is a lot of people's cholesterol is going down on a microdose of GLP, like really down.
I'm gonna try retatrutide for that specific purpose. I was hoping the MOTC would bring it down because there's some studies on that as well. Didn't really do anything that realm, but I'm gonna
I've
try
heard
the
the
microdose.
cholesterol a lot on the microdose.
Yeah.
So I think I would start him on just a small microdose of it and kind of see if that helps. Obviously BPC, for sure. Just he's healing from a surgery and feeling better.
Yeah.
And then I would obviously he needs to start moving his body and like.
Well, he's done he's 6 months out of the surgery.
What a
and
surgery.
we now have him better than he was before the surgery. He's kind of a phenom. He had to have quadruple bypass surgery, but because he had trained so efficiently and so well, he built a whole new vascular system around the arteries that were clogged. So a cardiologist couldn't even tell anything was wrong.
Wow. Amazing.
Resting heart rate was super low. Recovery heart rate was really well. Like they would tell him, yeah, you're all good. Get out of here. And luckily he heard some podcast talk about getting a calcium score. He's like, I'm just going to do that thinking it was going to be great. And boom, it was not.
Wow.
And they're like, oh my gosh, we totally missed this. His other question was, this is one of the biggest roadblocks of the people that I recommend peptides for is so nervous to pin himself the first time. Like how you used that?
Yeah.
Any strategies or anything you can share with people the first time?
Have someone do it for you the first time.
Yeah.
You know what's just interesting is like I'm so afraid to prick my finger. Like you know those blood
Oh,
tests.
I hate that more than anything.
I can put 20 needles in my body.
Yes.
You asked me to prick my finger, and like I had to have
funny.
JP do it. So I would say like have someone do it in the glute. where you can't see it. So you're not watching it happen. Like, don't look at the needle. And then you're going to realize you're like, wait, did you do it? I didn't feel it. Mm-hmm. So I think that's in the beginning, just have someone else do it. Do it somewhere where you can't see it. Don't even look at the needle. And then once you realize, okay, and then you can figure out, is it the needle or are you just scared it's going to hurt? And I think when you start delineating really where the fear is, it's one thing if you really have people have a true fear of needles. Then just have someone else do it. Yeah. And it's like.
When they're such small needles.
I've done it on so many people. And so once you do it on somebody, it's so easy. Like most people get over the fear pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, when you want something bad enough, but I have some people who are like, because they want the GLP so badly, right? Mm-hmm. So they're like, I'm just going to do a higher dose once a week. I only want that one needle, and then they do it. And then I'm really encouraging them to try some of these other peptides that could really help them. But they won't because they don't want it bad enough. But the weight loss they want so bad that they're willing to
Yeah, one thing that I started doing when I started the injections, letting it set out to room temperature for 5 minutes. That was good.
In the syringe, not the whole vial.
No, the whole vial.
Are you
Is that bad?
No. What's funny is I've left mine out.
Brad. You
can leave if it stays. If they stay out for one day and you leave them, you're fine.
So it's okay to let it warm up. I was always told pull in the syringe and then let it warm up.
Okay. All right. So, anyway.
That was what I've always been told.
Well, like if someone freaks out, like I left my peptides out all night, like it's going to be fine.
Okay.
Because I've done it, I've checked on it, it's going to be fine. Okay. Just on a regular basis. But one other thing that people aren't realizing too, and it does say this in the loop way of how to store stuff, if you're buying like 3 months worth, just put it in the freezer, the powder.
Oh.
And you want to store it in a dark place. So just don't throw it in a drawer when it's 85 degrees out. So you want to store it. I mean, give me in the refrigerator too. You just want to store it in a place that's dark and cold. And
it does need to be cold.
Ideally, it doesn't have to be frozen, but they're just saying it's easier in the freezer. But you don't want it sitting in the summer. I mean, Newport Beach, in the winter, you can keep it out. Even if we
keep our air conditioning on all the time.
Yeah, I think if it's in the 60s, but it's just easy. If you get them, put them in a little packet or just keep in the refrigerator with all your other stuff. Is my point. If you're getting months out, just store it all together.
Okay, didn't about that.
It's good to know.
Yeah, it is good to know.
I can try to think too of like a lot of things that I get.
I know a good one. Getting rid of the needles.
Oh gosh, I know. So
my husband said that is a business in Newport Beach. In Newport Beach. Pickup.
So you can buy on Amazon. They have
the sharps.
The sharps, and that's kind of what I do. And then but then the sharps, I'm like, then where do I put the sharps?
We drove them to Huntington. There's a drop off.
Whoever wants to start a business, they can go around picking up.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No kidding.
I should tell my daughter she needs a job.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Okay. So I was asking my clients for questions and stuff for this one. They asked, if you could design a dream stack for someone wanting to feel younger, stronger, and more energized, what would it include?
Ooh, I like that. How many peptides can they be on? No.
They didn't give a number. Yeah. This person has never done peptides before, but...
Dream stack.
Yeah, dream stack.
PT 141, I'm going to say, we
forgot about the sexual health one.
I'm scared to try it.
Yeah, talk about this one a little bit.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. But sorry, JP, I'm going to tell you the story. We get back from Europe, and we didn't have it. And he opens up my little fridge. He's like, "Oh my God, we have so many." He was like, "Jesus, I don't even like that one that much." You know what's great about this peptide is it's a sex peptide, and it works on the brain, and it's for men and women, which I think is really wonderful because I feel like there's so much focus on men.
Yeah.
And God, we have our issues and our needs and whatnot. It works. Yeah. Okay. It's a peptide I like. If someone is skeptical, they don't want you to take it more than twice a week, and you just take it as need. So I'll say, if you want to see if a peptide works, take this peptide. And I'm going to tell you, there's no one that's going to say it doesn't work, male or female.
Yeah. Okay.
I personally can't take too much of it, so I take 5 units, and I can sometimes get nauseous on it. You get a little flushed. So you're just going to play with it a little bit. But really what it does is it stimulates the brain, and it stimulates the brain, it increases blood flow to the areas, and it's great.
The areas.
The areas.
I'm excited. I have questions on this one because I've known about it for a long time. I've never tried it because I've always been nervous about the flushing aspect of it.
What is wrong with you?
Well, I've had crazy flushing experiences where I get so red, my eyes are red. It's like crazy. So I'm super hypersensitive to flushing.
Okay.
So I've read that it can a common.
It's quick. It's
a quick flush.
If you take a decent amount, you are red for a while. Some be like, were you guys in the sun today? You definitely get some sun. I would just say slow and low. Start slow.
You're saying 5 units.
I would just say take 5 units to start. Like I take 5. Like JP can take 10 or 15, but he's also a big guy.
Yeah.
And so like you just kind of play with it. Is what I would do. Is just like take a little bit, and you might be like, oh, I didn't feel anything. It didn't work. But it's a great one. So I would say that one.
Without getting too graphic, what happens? You're just so you've taken it, and then the timer starts, and then.
Okay, well, I'll tell the story in there, whatever.
It lasts for a while, right?
Okay, so I'm going to just tell the first.
It's not like you have a hard-on for 2 hours, is it?
If you take too much.
Really? Oh, my goodness.
But yeah.
I know, okay.
So we took too much the first time we did it. I love it. The first time we did, we're 2 little kids in a candy store. Okay. I didn't listen to Gino, or I thought I listened to Gino, and, I show up in Dallas, and we have a bottle of wine, and we're like, okay, this is, whatever.
We're gonna try this.
Take it and, wait an hour and have fun.
Right.
So, I think I might have taken like 10 and JP took whatever. We took a lot, more than you should. I didn't get nauseous for some reason. But, we wait an hour and then we're both, I don't feel anything. No offense, it wasn't that great. And all right. So we go to sleep and I wake up to use the bathroom at 5 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God. Wake him up. Oh my God. He's like, oh my God. We were like teenagers.
So wait, how much later was that?
That was like, it lasts for a couple days. It's in your system, it's in your system for, I'd say, 2 days.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I didn't realize that.
I actually think it takes longer than you think. So, I tell people if you want it to kick in the evening, take it at like 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Just don't take it right before dinner, because I think it can.
So you're rubbing up against your partner at dinner, and they're like, get a room. I
know. It's nothing to worry about. Like, it's not like you're going to get yourself in a pickle.
Okay.
It's fun. It's a fun one. And I like to talk about it because peptides should be light and fun.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a tool, right? Yeah. And it's just a tool to make yourself feel better and to not take it so seriously. And if you go low and slow, there's nothing to worry about.
And you get a better experience of life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially as you get older.
Yeah, so that's a great one. I would definitely suggest that one, and they can see if it works. I would suggest BBC for sure. And then I would actually pick a mitochondrial health one. Yeah. So I would pick an NAD or a MOTC.
Yeah.
And I think since it's a man, I'd pick MOTC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think those are my 3.
I think the MOTC is great. It's like, I don't know. It's been my favorite one so far. It's that one when I got to come off and I'm like, how many more days do I have? Yeah. How many more days do I have?
You know what I just started is Epithelin.
Oh, I haven't tried that one.
That's another one. It's only 20 days, but you take it every day for 20 days and 2 to 3 times a year. But it's supposed to be huge anti-aging.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
and it works on your telomeres.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're supposed to sleep great. So I literally just started it. I kind of like the little pop ones, like 20 days, 30 days, like the 3 months are great, but sometimes you're eager to either get off of it, or sometimes you're like, I want to stay on it. Why do I have to get off of it? Yeah. Or this one, you just kind of know it's like a little punch.
Like in and
yeah.
A good point. Why is it important to come off of them?
A couple reasons. Really is that you want to just give your body a break so they work better, right? So you don't want to keep hitting a receptor, right? It's kind of like anything. If you do it too much, or you do it, your body gets used to anything. And so Trevor actually yesterday we were talking about on his vacations, he goes off everything except he'll bring the orals because he's like, it still supports me, but it's not as intense. And then your body gets a break, so you come back and like when I got off my NAD for the 2 weeks, I came back the first day I took it, I really felt it, which is kind of fun because you're like, oh, this is new again. So it's like. And I think when you travel is a really great time to just take a break of anything and saying hey, this is a good time, but really knowing your cycles and knowing, hey, it's been 3 months or it's been 8 weeks, I'm going to take it and take a break. I think I get a lot, I don't want to get off my CJC. Can I go on Tesamorelin? I'm like, no. You're hitting the same receptors.
Yeah.
Give your body a break.
Yeah.
Pick something else you're excited about, and then you're going to focus on that. There's so many that you can ask your coach, get back on him with a call or DM me. I'll walk you kind of through it. But just pick something else to focus on, and then it distracts you. And then before you know it, it's been 3 months and you can go back on it.
I need a spreadsheet for mine.
Yeah, we can do a spreadsheet.
Yeah, seriously, I'm not even kidding. I'm like, okay, wait, I started this one here.
Yeah.
I
kind of forget.
here.
I'll share one with you. I made one for myself.
Did you?
Yeah, where every peptide I have, I put how to reconstitute it, so I don't have to go looking through it.
Look at you.
I put
check out the big brain on
how
Brad.
I take it, and then I have my start date and my end date, so I kind of know where I'm at.
We can probably learn a lot about people with how they do that.
Yeah.
In general.
It's just I needed it to be right in front of me and super easy.
I have a grease board that like what butt cheek I inject.
I don't go that far.
You don't?
No.
I'm probably the opposite of all of you. I have like none of it.
You're just willy-nilly? But how do you know then?
Oh, well, I know because they're month vials, right? So like I know like, okay, I buy 3. One's done, one's done, one's done. Or like you kind of know. But like I was on CJC and then I went off of it for 6 months and I just started again. And I'm kind of like, oh, we'll see. Like, you know, maybe I'll do it a month. I won't do more than 2 months. Like you can also just like, you don't want to stand it too long, but you can also say, I'm going to do something for a month and just like see how I feel. And I don't also like to take too many because then you're sitting and you're looking at all the needles and you're like, I'm getting fatigue.
Well, and one other concern I get a lot of, well, if I come off it, am I going to lose all the benefit? Like if someone's been on BPC and like, I don't want to come off it. I feel so good.
Yeah.
It's going to sustain itself, right?
Right. And they stay in your system longer than you think. So you're still getting the benefits of it. And like I said, when you add in something else, your body's just like, oh, awesome. You're optimizing me somewhere else. But like even for BPC, it's so great on the gut. Most people who also come off be like, oh, I feel it in my gut. Well, then get on KPV.
Yeah.
It's great for the gut. So we have other peptides. If you're really worried about your gut, let's get on a peptide that's going to support your gut directly.
Yeah.
What I also think is interesting is TA1 is really for your immunity. And I think we're finding people who have autoimmune issues are going to really be using this, which I think is great.
I cycled Thymosin Alpha 1 all the time.
Yeah.
I kind of I go 8 weeks of BPC, then 8 weeks of Thymosin Alpha 1. That's kind of how I alternate.
And it's not a sexy one. You know, your immunity, no one's like, oh, I'm so excited. Let's work on my immunity.
Until you don't have that.
But it's a really, really good one.
Yeah. I just get sick less often. That's the benefit that I like with it.
Yeah. But also, like, it just affects so much of your body. You know, when it comes to your immunity, it's just like you want everything to be really supported. And so, like, don't sleep on that one, I would say, for sure.
I got slammed for talking about the letdown effect that I tend to deal with is that when I finally get a vacation or some downtime, that's when I get sick.
Right.
And we had that video go viral on that.
Totally went viral.
But the big change that I've made now is that when I go on vacation, that's when I always make sure I'm on Thymosin Alpha 1. Yeah. And the last couple of times I've taken time off from work and I have not got sick at all. It's been great.
Yeah, it's great. I would tell bring that one on vacation.
Yeah.
Just constitute it. You might not need it. It's kind of like when I travel with an antibiotic sometimes, just in case, you know. And so it's a good one to bring. Yeah. Same with just like the BPC oral. Just throw it in your bag because it's going to help your stomach. It's going to help you feel better.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I think that just will get curious.
Yeah.
You know, get curious. And I think what's really funny is when people kind of really come at me or they're on a call and they're like wanting to know, tell me about why they're research peptides or the FDA or, you know, all this kind of stuff, which is fine. I love talking about it. And then at the end, I said, the best thing is, like, they're not for everyone. It's a certain mindset that's curious or who really says, I want to advocate for my own health or I want to be progressive or I actually want to be ahead of the game. It's not for everyone. When you tell someone that, guess what they want to do?
They want it.
I want it. Yeah. Like, you're telling me it's not for me.
That's funny.
Or when you tell someone, well, just get off it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know when I get off it.
What's the minimum amount of time you have to be off of something, or is it different for everything?
They'll say a month.
A month.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I personally think if you're dealing with the ones that are growth hormone to give yourself longer. Yeah. I think some of the guys don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Some, like Trevor will say, like, you can take a month off and then switch to CJC. And then you can go back on Tesamorelin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I don't know if I think the guys are different than the girls. I don't know. I'm just, I usually ask why. If someone says that, I'm like, why?
Why do you want to get back on so quickly is what you're saying?
And then I'll usually suggest something else. And then they're like excited about that for, like, I've got some DMs a lot. Like, I'm so bummed. When can I go on CJC? I'm like, why don't you do something else for 3 months that you're really excited about and you'll forget about the growth hormone one and then you'll come back. And you'll realize that you haven't lost any muscle mass.
Yeah.
Your body's given a break. You can sleep well on NAD too. Yeah. So.
Last question before you wrap this up. There are so many peptides coming out.
I know.
Is there one coming out that you're really excited about?
I mean, I'll say it right now. I'm excited more for the industry than I am for myself. And we're going to actually have it, but there's an oral GLP.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very exciting to hear.
And we hopefully will have it next month, I think, from what
Nice.
I've heard. The difference is that you're going to have to take it more often.
Okay.
So it's not going to, like, I think, like anything, everything is better injected sub-Q, but you can take it orally. You're just going to have to take it more. But I think it's exciting for people who really don't want to inject themselves and someone who really could use the benefit of just regulating their body. So from an insulin perspective, or someone who's in perimenopause or menopause and just really wants to take a little of the pressure off. So we'll see. I mean, it's really new. So we'll see if it works, but we will have that. We'll have a lot more bioregulators. So we'll have more orals, which I think is really exciting. And I think just to support you. So if you're on a GLP and you're saying like, hey, I want more fat burning, I don't want to inject another thing, that we have more that are coming and Trevor was telling me that they're creating more peptides that they hope can break through the stomach lining. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think sometimes the tried and true is the best way. But yeah, I think those are some of them. I've also heard there's something coming out that they think can really help with Hashimoto's. So I think the autoimmune stuff, I think stacking, they're finding that when you're stacking some of them, the autoimmune, it really helps. And a lot of it, the stuff that's coming is they're literally testing it on themselves and their people and saying, hey, this works. Let's try to pair this together.
Yeah.
And so it's when you're kind of hopeful, right? When nothing else is working and you don't want to go on more meds, more statins. Yeah. I think the one interesting we can maybe end here is that, like, the question I get, like, do I have to be on this the rest of my life? Well, all I know is I've been on thyroid medicine since I was in my 20s. I mean, if someone's on a heart statin, they're on it for life. Like, how many times are you going in for your monthly medicine? We're so used to taking things on the regular that come from the pharmacy that I think it's just opening your mind and saying, like, hey, this might be a lifestyle that I'm going to choose for the rest of my life. I personally don't think it's a bad one. If you're feeling when you're feeling so good, as long as you know where it's coming from, as long as you have someone that's walking you through it, you're educating yourself. And I think having a community like Loop, and that's why we work so hard on it, and I love having both of you involved in it, is the more community we can form, the more supported people can feel. And you can support each other just through Zoom calls. You know, it doesn't have to be something so formal, or like the weight room class. That's all we're talking about. But you have like-minded people sharing their experiences, right? Or like the best, we had a girl come in and she's like, oh my gosh, I was on a GLP for 3 weeks and I lost 8 pounds and I'm off of it because it works so well for me. And like, you hear all the different stories. And so I feel like that's what I'm hoping that we continue to create. And then it's just a community of open-minded people, and put the judgment aside. Like at the end of the day, like we're all just doing the best we can. We're all trying to feel the best we can. So
don't you feel like that judgment is starting to go away?
I do.
I do too.
I do. And I also feel like it's back to the Botox, right?
Yeah.
You know,
it's gonna be like
or
that.
anyone's doing to enhance themselves. Like, I mean, men have to take Viagra sometimes. Is that a bad thing? Right. There's no shame behind it, but like we all should be able to do what works for us. And like, why gatekeep it? And that's where I'm about, is it like, let's just talk about it. And it's not gonna be for everybody. And like, and I think when it's not, and you're really judging somebody else and you're black and white thinking, I think you should look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself why.
Yeah.
Because there's usually something pointed back at you. Yeah. And it's either an insecurity or deep down inside, you want to feel as good as that person feels. Right. You either just scared, or you think you can't afford it, or you just don't know enough about it. But I just think we all need to start supporting each other more.
Yeah.
I agree.
Perfect. To wrap it up, can you tell our listeners where they can find you?
Yeah. So my Instagram is just Stephanie Gambetta, and then we have the Loop Way Instagram, and the loopway.com is a great resource. That's our educational site, and then Loop Biolabs is where you can purchase peptides.
Beautiful. Well,
thanks for having me. This is really fun.
Thanks for taking the time to come by. We appreciate having you.
Thank you.